All right, guys, with me is somebody who's been in Dubai real estate for the last 15 years, okay? He's been there, done that, seen the growth. He was in real estate when real estate was actually very glamorous. The peaks.
Very glamorous.
Then it went to being not glamorous, like nobody wanted to be in real estate in 2008 and 9 and 10. I met him in 2007, March or February. I remember that. And he was not doing real estate at that time, but I met him again in 2009 when he was doing real estate more full time. Took a little break. You're going to talk about that yourself. But he's one of those people who I used to talk to if I wanted to go full time into real estate. I would call him out, pick his brain, and ask for inspiration. Okay, welcome, Mr. Mazz. Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We're going to have a brief conversation, long conversation, any kind of conversation that you want. It's going to be very free-flowing, very easygoing. I want you to start with your journey. So I know you were doing something about, first it was real estate, then was not real estate, and then it was more full-time real estate from 2010 onwards.
That is correct.
Talk us through your journey.
I will. But before I start, I would like to thank you for having me on board.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'm very happy to see you. Very impressed the way you've taken yourself.
Okay.
And even though you came in real estate after myself, but then again, the way you've done it, you've grown leaps and bounds, and I'm genuinely happy for you.
Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah.
And you've
we thank
always
Allah
been
for
like
it, and
a
we thank you for your
nice
compliment.
guy and
Nice guy.
very helpful. So yeah, I'm really happy, and I wish you all the best, whatever you do.
Thank you. You heard it first from Mr. Mazz on this podcast. I'm a nice guy. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah.
So it all goes back.
Let's talk about you, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
my journey in real estate. There's one person I give full credit to, and that has been my mentor. Because when we met in 2007, he was doing a bit of marketing.
Right.
And that's where Fahd came in.
Yeah.
And we interviewed you.
Yeah.
And we
correct.
actually liked you.
Yes, correct.
And we offered you.
Yeah.
And you said no.
Yeah, I said no. I don't remember what. Do you want to talk about what they were doing?
Yeah, what we were doing, we were planning to award the most prestigious companies in Dubai.
Yes. Okay.
And we were hiring people who could go on the field.
Yes.
Shortlist those companies who are really good.
Right.
And award them for their efforts.
Yeah. And it was actually, so there's a second part to this, okay? Maybe we don't want to take names, but there's a second part. The entire idea of the award was taken from this gentleman in the UK who, it was called the Pixel Guy, remember?
Yes, I remember.
So the Pixel Guy said, okay, on my webpage, there's 1 million pixels.
Alex too.
Okay, I forget his name. So you could buy the number of pixels and then you'll be there.
$1 million homepage.
It was the $1 million homepage, £1 million homepage, right?
$1 million.
I was sold out because he became a media sensation. He's gone on to do other ventures now.
Yes.
But you guys had a similar idea that you'd have a web page and then you'd put these companies out there.
That is correct.
You guys ended up getting companies as well. Like
amazing.
I know a few driving institutes were there. I don't want to mention them, but they were there. So they paid you guys to buy some pixels.
That is correct.
Okay, so then you ventured or like kind of like parallelized into real estate with the same guy. Okay,
with the same guy. Yes.
Yeah, you guys were doing Ajman real estate, Dubai real estate,
Well,
any and every type of real estate.
It's funny how it started because since I'm born and brought up here.
Yes.
So my mentor, he wanted to buy some stuff in Ajman, and over there, only local market, Arabs, locals. And because I speak Arabic, so he called me to do some translation.
Right.
I remember going for those meetings and doing some translation. We started from like 10 units, then we went for half a floor, then into a full floor, and then we ended up buying full buildings.
Right, okay.
And that's when he suggested, hey, whatever you're doing in real estate is a lot more lucrative as compared to giving awards. And he said, you know what? Jump in real estate.
Yes.
And that's how my real estate journey started.
Alhamdulillah. I walked into your office with one of my investors
Way
in
back in
2009.
9. Okay.
Yes, when you had that Garhood office.
That definitely. Yes.
Where you walked in
Fatan.
to give us a presentation. I was advising my friend on what to buy, what not to buy, and he was one of the investors as well. And then came the crash.
Oh, yes.
MashaAllah. 2008.
Oh,
Allahu Akbar.
I remember. It was September 2008.
Yeah.
We did Cityscape,
Yeah.
and it was a 3-day event, and we were only able to
October or
sell
September. Yeah. Okay.
2 units.
Oh, yeah.
That's when we realized something is
That's when
wrong,
you're
something
wrong,
is not right.
Yeah.
And for the next 6 months,
Were you married at that time?
I was not.
Yeah. Okay.
And for the next 6 months, did not make a single dirham. Everything was crashing. People were coming back, asking for their money. It was chaotic.
Right. Right.
But
You know my story, right? So with my guy,
I remember you from the app, like you were doing some app.
No, we invested in 2008. Me and my mentor, we invested our savings. It was mostly his savings, but I was a partner because I was looking for the opportunities for him.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up putting money into two properties. And then we went away. He went to the UK for his vacation with his children. I went to get married.
Oh my God.
MashaAllah. Yeah. And we said we'll come back and sell our properties for 30% profit.
Oh.
Then we went into real estate, Cityscape. And then we saw what was happening.
Right.
It was disaster.
Yes. Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
That was the starting point when
Starting
you realized.
point to things started getting worse. But, I looked back, I say Alhamdulillah. But you stuck it out, yeah? Oh, no,
Yes.
you went in the middle. You worked with Sen
Well, what happened?
or you worked with an immigration consultancy. Let's not name them. These guys.
So what happened?
Sending people to Canada.
Canada, Australia,
Acha, Mars.
a lot of different locations, and
It's in Mars.
at that time real estate was dead, and I had an option to work for a B2B versus B2C.
Right.
And purposely, I chose a consumer market
Yeah.
because I love talking to people,
Right,
meeting with them, getting to know them.
Their headaches are different.
Oh yeah, a bit more personable, a bit more, it's something you can resolve on human level.
Yes, yes.
So, which is why I worked with that immigration firm. I loved that job. I was doing really well. I was
Yes.
their top performer. But then again, something inside of me was not really happy. I wanted, no matter how hard you work, there was a limit.
Right.
But then I gave myself, 3 months. I said, you know what, I'm gonna, if things didn't really work out the way I want to go back into real estate.
Right. And then you went back, 2010?
2010, yes.
Full time. Boom, boom.
100%. And
2010 is still like a tough time, man.
it was really tough. I remember when
Market started improving in 2009, by the way. The bottom was 2009,
2009, 10.
April. Statistically.
Yes, that's
Like
correct.
you can't tell that where's the bottom until. So you went in 2010. How did what you were doing with immigration, showcase, all that, how did that shape you up with real estate?
Well, real estate has been always very different. I would say in showcase or immigration, you're dealing with end users and you're dealing with people. But in real estate, you have aspect we're dealing with the tenants and the landlords, or versus buyer and seller.
Right.
So real estate has a more personal touch to it.
Right.
And I think it's a high rollers game. People
Right.
who have a lot of money, and people look at it in a different way. Because once you have a lot of money, you would like to invest. You want to, have somebody rent it out to have
Right.
some revenue, or you want to sell it later on a profit. So real estate was like, I think, a lot more broader. And I love the fact that, you get to meet all sorts of people. I've rented from a studio into a 5-bedroom mansion.
Right.
And that what really clicked me.
Right.
And the best part, I've always been ambitious. And I was never satisfied with like 9-to-5 job. I always wanted to, have something where I can, I'm the boss in terms of that, I decide my hours. It's not that I don't want to work. It's like, I know that if I close this deal, then I have an option to close another deal.
There's something about real estate agents. They actually are a little bit restless. They don't want to go home at 6 p.m.
That is true. And I hate
it
that
part-
grind when
No, but why don't we want to go home at 6 p.m.? Is it because we are so we so want to be away from the corporate culture where the guy goes home at 6 p.m. and we're like anything but that. Like I want to work harder at it. Like I remember my early days. I think there were times when some of us are not working through and through. We take a break. I hope you do too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll go to the gym, take a break, 2 hours, and then I'll get back into the office at 5 and then just stay till 6 or 8 and do my work, right? But what is it about real estate agents? Like successful real estate agents, they want to be out there getting deals done. They don't want to go home.
That is correct.
Huh?
It's a fire from within.
It's a fire from
If
within.
you have that fire,
Yeah.
then nobody can stop you.
You have it. But it can't be ignited either. Can it be?
It can be.
Yeah, somebody
can
can
be.
ignite it for you.
By asking the right sort of questions.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go back and answer why I don't like going back at 6 because I hate the traffic.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
That is the reason.
Look, Mazz, you gave me an answer, but think about it like this, right? Not liking the traffic is your excuse to stay longer. Because you could just move closer to the office. You could walk, and then you'll say there's this kid's school. See, like, listen.
Right.
There's all these other things, right? Like it's like the guy who comes out into the kitchen or into his house, and wife's got all these chocolates. My story, right? For the kids, and he's like telling the wife, like, you buy all this junk food, and I can't lose weight. That's not true.
That's not
You
true.
can always keep your mouth shut. Not eat that stuff, right? So when you say I hate the traffic, yeah, sometimes. Like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like
It is.
You want to do more, you want to do more, you want to do more.
100%. Because, being a real estate, I mean, a good one, and I think your mind is working,
Right.
is thinking, is always looking for solutions, is always saying, what is my next move? I need to speak to this buyer, that seller.
Yeah.
I need to structure it in such a way. I have to find a solution. And I think to be a real estate good one, you have to be very creative. You got to think from the buyer perspective and the seller perspective
Right.
and come somewhere in between.
Let's talk about how you started with the company you're with right now. You've
Yes.
been with them, what, 13 years?
12 and a half in December, I'll complete 13 years.
13,
with them.
bless you.
Yes.
Now, that is very unique in Dubai real estate because
Definitely.
I think maybe there's 1 to 10 agents who've started with one company and stayed with the same company. Most of them get the itch. They want to go somewhere else. They want to
Yes.
explore another company. Then they realize, that was old company was good. How did you choose? Why did you stay?
2 reasons. I don't know if you know, but from the very early age, I always wanted to be independent. I wanted to, have my own job, have my own apartment, have my own thing. So between the age of 18 and 30, I must have had I counted 32 different jobs. 32, working as a newspaper guy, working in a factory, selling internet door to door.
Right. This was in
And
what, Toronto?
This one is in Toronto. Yes.
Yeah,
That was in Toronto. I did that for 2 years. So
Delivering newspaper. It was for sure in Toronto. I've done that too. I haven't really delivered newspaper, but I've been with a friend of mine. It was his personal job.
Really?
But he said, you want to come? I said, okay, I'll come with you. I'll help you out. I don't think I got paid for it, but it's a tough one, man. It's not an easy job.
I loved it because you got to start really early, 2
Very
in the
early.
morning.
Yeah.
And there's no traffic, and you just know your way, and you deliver. And
Were you in
on.
a car or were you in a bike or?
I was in a car.
Okay, he was in a car as
In
well.
a car. Yeah.
I don't know why I said yes to do it. I think he needed help, and I said, okay, I'll help you. 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And I went with him, man.
The funniest job that I did when I was 18, I worked as a mascot in Dubai shopping festival. And I remember wearing as a Mickey Mouse and
hot inside the suit.
Extremely. I remember I got paid 50 dirhams per day.
Per day, which
And
is good money back then.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. And the number of kicks I got from the kids.
Yeah.
Amazing. It
Yeah,
was.
they would kick you, they would pull your tail, they would. So yes, you wanted to be independent. Let's get back to the question.
So-
how did you choose the company and stay with them?
So that was the reason. So after 2010, that was the time I got married, and there's something in that company. I work with Golden Wave Properties. I saw stability. I saw that my boss Amar, God bless him, he's been great, very
Bless
supportive.
him, yes.
He guided me in the beginning, and and it's just that after that I did not really feel the need to just like start my own or join somebody else. And because I've reached a point where I get job offers almost every second day.
Yes, of course.
They are hiring, and they need somebody experienced to lead their team or whatnot. But with Golden Wave Properties, I just felt that it was more. They took care of me. I take care of them. And there has been some instances where the company really stepped up. I was in a very difficult situation in 2019.
All right, okay.
I think one of the lowest points in my life.
Really?
And at that time, the company really stood up for me. And this is something I'll
Was it
never
monetarily
forget.
or otherwise?
It was something?
Was it monetarily?
It was not monetarily. It was more like a situation
Right.
that I was involved in
Okay.
with something that I was beyond my control. But my company support was there, and obviously that meant a lot, meant the world,
Right.
and which was one of the reasons. And I believe if I were to make any move to any other company, I would be adding more value to that company as compared
Right.
to them adding value to me.
Right.
And it's been amazing.
So alhamdulillah.
It's been amazing. They give me a free hand, and I move around, and I can do my stuff. So yeah.
You stay there. You have the office key. You can stay there all day long and sleep there.
I sometimes I leave at 11 midnight.
Yeah, of
so
course. That's funny. You've been in the industry 15 years, right? And you're still leaving like what 11 o'clock sometimes.
some 11 midnight 10.
It is what it
because
is, 'cause
I love working hard.
You like the passion. You like the grind. Listen, then you chose Jumeirah Village Circle
Yes.
in the beginning. Tell us about
100%.
that. How did you choose that place?
Well, it was destiny. From the
Not
very beginning-
glamorous, far from Business Bay. The distance is far.
Fahd, from a young age, maths was my favorite subject.
Mathematics.
Trigonometry. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I'm in JVC and JVT, Jumeirah Village Circle and Triangle.
Was it really? Is that true? No, it could be some truth in there.
I'll tell you how it started. So I was given Arabian Ranches as the area to work on.
Right.
And that was my first month. I was doing quite well.
Right.
And then I got a call saying that they need something in JVC.
Right.
So I
A
said-
client said, I want that
Something
something
in
there.
JVC.
Fine.
So what happens is I speak to my boss. I said, you know what, can I explore JVC? He's like, yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
I
Go
clearly
ahead.
remember.
Try to find it.
Yeah. Driving in JVC, it was not a proper road. It was a dirt road.
Oh, bhai, how would you even get into JVC? You know, the first time I got to JVC, I had to come around like 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
Because I kept missing the exit and we didn't have Google Maps at that time working.
That is true.
So I had a
That is
printed
true.
map of Google.
Oh.
How to get into JVC. There was one entrance, remember?
Yes, I remember.
No, exit 1 and exit 2.
Yeah, there used to be like only...
I think I called you. You told me exit 1 and exit 2, just come in.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kept
yeah.
missing the exits.
Right.
So I would get back on the highway towards Abu Dhabi, come back.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So me entering JVC for the first time, it was a dirt road.
Inside.
And
All of it.
yeah, there was no proper roads. There was only 4 projects at that time.
With diamond views.
Diamond Views was one of the, well, to be honest, the Grand Chateau is the first one that broke ground.
Yes.
And then we had the accommodation of Atlantis.
Right,
And then we had Valencia
the
Town.
Manhattan building. No, not the Manhattan. The Atlantis accommodation.
Atlantis accommodation.
Atlantis accommodation, for those who don't know, was a big, massive building, 2 buildings that housed all of the Atlantis staff. Are they still there?
Yes, they are still there.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that landlord's done well.
No, they
Yeah.
bought the land. They built it. So that was their...
Atlantis built it themselves.
Yeah. They own it. So
Oh, I
even
didn't
the
know that.
facilities that you see around it, the supermarket
They
and
cater
everything
to
as well.
staff accommodation.
Yes,
Yeah,
belongs to them.
that's pretty good. Okay.
And Valencia Town was the only project that it was there.
Townhouses.
Oh yeah, but now you go back and see it's completely changed, Fahad. Completely. Even I go myself, and the number of project that has been there, it's been insane. So much.
So you went by default, or like
Yeah,
God
yeah, that
guided you
was-
to be there.
Yeah.
But then you chose to stick it out there.
That
and
is
you're
correct.
still there in 15 years.
100%.
Well, you're in JVT now. Jumeirah Village Triangle.
Well, it was more when I started with JVC and then
Right.
JVT. But then
Right.
as the business grew,
Right.
I realized being in one location will be more helpful.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's better to specialize on one area.
Yeah, you think so?
Because then you know everything about something.
Right.
Having said that, I worked on different areas as well,
Right.
but I think I did extremely well in JVT.
Okay. Now you're like that neurosurgeon. So there's the general health practitioner, then there's the neurosurgeon, then there's the neurosurgeon who's only looking at the right side of the brain. You're like that now because you're only
I'll
looking
take
in
that as a
JVT.
compliment.
Yeah, it's good actually because you're so super focused and super
Yeah.
specialized.
It helps, Fahd. It helps.
Yeah, of course it helps because you want a super focused, specialized person to look at your brain and fix that part. But do you feel you lose out on business when the guy, when you're, okay, so for instance, when your landlord who also owns a house in Arabian Ranches wants to sell it now, you're not going to work on it, right?
I will.
You will now.
I will.
Okay, you'll
But
still-
the only thing is, now I'm a bit more selective, the kind of people that I'm going to work on.
Okay.
Like before, when I was like dry, I was like,
Right.
anything comes, I'm going to take
Right.
it. I'm going to
Yeah.
work on it, let it
Yeah.
be sale or rental.
Right.
Before I was doing, a lot of apartments,
Right.
very less villas. But now my focus is only 90% villas and less than 5% apartments. So
Tell us about your challenges. Some
Challenges?
story. I remember one guy you told me about. This was the tenant who begged you to let him move in
That is correct.
without his first installment clearing because he had family coming in.
that is
We
correct.
won't mention the nationality because it doesn't matter, actually, to be honest. Now I don't care about who I'm dealing with
Sure.
because there's good and bad in all. And you said, okay. And then he moves in and he turns around and his check bounces and he's like, okay, I'm not going to pay until the landlord fixes this and this. And it was bad intentions from his bad faith.
100%.
Talk
100%.
about that story and a few other stories.
Well,
like
a
some
lot.
drama,
I mean-
drama on this podcast. Let's put some drama.
Well, see, what happens is like this happened very early in my career because then you tend to trust people on
Right.
their face value.
Yeah.
So the guy came up to me and the timing was immaculate.
Right.
I still remember, it was Eid al-Adha, the big Eid just before that.
Right.
And he comes to me, he says, okay, he signed the contract.
Right.
I give to the landlord and he signs it. And he's very trustworthy landlord. This landlord has bought like 15 villas from me in JVT.
Right. Okay.
So when we're looking at the tenancy, I don't have to consult with him. I just have to go with the flow. So this guy comes to me, he said, okay, you know what? Eid al-Adha is coming. My salary is going to come right after that. But I want to move in before that. So me being a nice guy, I made that mistake. Usually
Right.
what happens, you clear the first check, then you move in. I gave him the keys.
Right.
And right after the Eid al-Adha holiday is over, I got a call from the landlord and he said, check bounce. I was like, oh my God,
Right.
must have been a mistake.
Yeah.
So
Signature
I rushed.
mismatch or
Yeah,
some other
but
reason.
The moment I start chasing him down, he switch off his phone. I go to his place, I knock on the door and there's no answer. I know somebody's in there, but there's no answer. Well, it was very frustrating. My landlord was not too happy because
Right.
I did not do my due diligence. I should
Right.
have stuck with the
The process.
process. But eventually what we did that, we took the legal route.
You had
we
to,
went
yeah.
to the DLD, we were in dispute,
Right. Yeah.
served him a notice. He was called. I was there. And so that's how.
So
we
did
were
you
able
guys
to
get him
resolve it.
out or he paid?
Well, to be honest, he paid.
Yeah.
And then after a year, he moved out as well.
Okay.
He did pay. So yeah, but the stress,
It's stressed because it all
wastage
landed
of
on you,
time.
right? Yeah.
yeah, wastage of time.
Yeah.
So that was a bit annoying.
But it's a good lesson learned, right? I learned my lesson also from that.
Yes.
So when anybody's working with me and they're like, yeah, it's okay, let him move it. I'm like, okay, but do you know what happened to Mazz? I don't tell them what happened to Mazz,
Right.
but I tell them like, look, this can happen, and we don't want this to happen.
Absolutely.
And
This is
I-
all the stories, right?
yeah.
I mean, the challenge that I'm facing right now, which you mentioned about, nationality does not matter. Unfortunately, we live in a world where we have some landlords who would specifically favor certain nationalities.
Right? You still have that?
I still have that. I mean, I don't agree to it.
Yeah.
I see, if I'm a landlord, I tell them, you know what? I'm going to meet the person. I'm going to see who he is. How does he respond?
Right.
What kind of person? The vibes that you get off that person.
Yes.
So, and just deciding on the fact that he from a certain nationality, I'm gonna have it. is not the
what?
right way to go about it.
I thought about this 2 years ago. I decided to all the properties that we're managing to tell the landlord that we're not going to, even based on your instructions, we're not going to discriminate. Why?
Amazing.
Because technically you're breaking the law, right? It's kind of like that landlord that tells you kick out the tenant. Why? Because he's not paying me my extra rent, but you don't deserve any extra rent as per law. So then I said, okay, like we'll just tell them, like, if you tell us that I don't want this nationality, we'll just tell you that's unethical and you're breaking the law. So we won't manage your property, and then you can do whatever you want. Because it's kind of stupid to do that. Because you get good, bad, ugly from everywhere, and hopefully you get good people. But I see that less now, Mazz, in the market. Is it still there?
Well,
I want this nationality. I don't want that. I want that. I want this.
unfortunately, now because the rents and sales price have gone up,
Yes.
we do have certain landlords who have become more demanding.
Right.
So yes, we still have that discrimination.
Hold on. Talk about this. The rental situation.
Mm-hmm.
Things that got rented in 2021
Mm-hmm.
was still pandemic situation. We're just coming out,
Kind
right?
of, yeah.
22 has happened, and then the 23. What are you guys doing? Rental evaluation? Like now, I know. Let me just set this up. So in Dubai, for the longest time, 10 years, the only way to actually increase your rent was to go do a rental index reference, and that would allow. But the rental index is behind right now.
100%.
So landlords are
behind.
choosing to do rental evaluations, correct?
That is correct.
What are you seeing majorly?
Now, let me point that out. Now, even if you do a rental evaluation,
Yes.
that does not mean that the landlord can increase the rent.
Are you sure?
100%. The rental evaluation, the DLD will do it,
Right.
but it does not guarantee.
He still
that-
has to go to court?
Well, he still has to stick to the RERA index, whatever the RERA index is.
Are you sure?
100%. I have my client who has done the evaluation.
Right.
It came like much, much higher than whatever the
Right.
rent he's paying right now.
Right.
But the RERA rental dispute is not allowing the landlord to increase the rent as per the rental evaluation. They are saying it has to be as per the RERA
So
index.
they're throwing it back then.
Yes, they are.
You've seen an actual
Yes,
this actually play out.
yes. I have experienced this.
Wow. So they're still one of the things that the Dubai courts do that I've seen is they still try to balance, because it is very challenging when somebody's paying, even if they're paying 300,000 per year. Now all of a sudden you're asking them to pay 50,000 more next year. Pay 15,000, 10,000 more. Okay, it makes sense. You ask them to pay 50,000 more, that's almost like a 20% increase, man. Or
That is
60,000 more. That's
80,
20%.
90, Fahad. 80, 90,000 more.
Yeah.
I can tell you from my experience.
Right.
And it completely changes
The
tenants.
dynamics too fast. So
100%,
what the
yeah.
courts are, what the courts are saying, no. Thank you very much for
Yes.
your rental valuation. We consider it, but the rental index also considers it. Why is the rental index lagging behind? What's going on?
Because Fahad, you have to understand that it takes time.
For the average to move up?
Yes, that is correct. Because even though in Jumeirah Village Triangle the rents are like 180, 190, I still know people who are paying 110.
Right.
I still know people who are paying 100. I've got a client, she's paying 92.
And her landlord's got a good relationship with her. He doesn't want to increase the rent. So her 92 affects the rental index as much as the 200 and 200,000.
That is correct. That is correct. And
You heard it here
believe it or
first.
not, believe it or not, and let's suppose, for example, the market is marketed at 220,
Yeah.
and somebody's trying to put that up at 250. Somebody's putting at 250 also has a very bad effect on the rest of the market,
Right.
because the rest of the landlords have 250 as a reference point.
Yeah.
They say, oh, Mazz, I've seen somebody advertise at 250.
Yeah.
In reality, it does not work.
Like that.
Because if you put your property at 250, you know what? You're sitting on a empty desk waiting for the calls. They never come.
They never
You have to be competitive.
Right. Gotcha.
Same thing for sales as well.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. Walk us through a typical day in your life today.
Oh my!
Time to wake up, start. Do you sleep?
I'm usually working till 10, 11. By the time I reach home, it's about like 11, 11:30.
Right.
And I wake up usually 7, 7:30. So I consciously try not to touch my phone before
Yeah.
8 in the morning,
Yeah.
because then it never ends. You always have
never
calls,
stops,
you
yeah.
have messages and all that stuff. And I believe one of the main applications that I use on my phone, believe it or not, is calendar.
Right.
It's trust me,
You manage your day on the calendar.
100%. 100%. I love that application. It's a small application,
Right. Yeah.
but
You use Google Calendar or iPhone?
Google.
Right. Okay.
Google.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So what I do, I plan my day.
Right. Okay.
And my typical day is like I'm out from the home at about 8:30, 9.
right.
And I try to schedule my viewings in the second half. Because in the first half,
Right.
you got to go for your NOCs, you got to go for your transfers.
Right. Okay.
Some, because of XYZ reasons, the NOC is not coming out. So you have to go and check and follow
Right,
up.
yeah.
So I try to keep my viewings in the second half, like from 3 onwards or 4 or 5 onwards. Sometimes it goes 6, 7, 8, 9. And then there's some follow-up calls.
Do you take breaks during the day?
To be honest, I don't.
Do you do you
don't.
nap?
No, not at
Do
all.
you eat lunch?
90% of the time, I don't.
You just don't.
To be honest, my wife makes, sandwiches and all that stuff. And I purposely tell her to make a sandwich. Like, don't make me give me something that I have to, heat it up, or I
Right.
have to,
So you
sit
just
at a
wanna eat
spot
on the go?
on the go.
Man,
And what time flies.
I know I don't know if you've got assistants now.
I do
yeah.
have an assistant.
So does this assistant take care of your viewings and stuff like that?
No, she is only taking care of all the paperwork.
Okay.
Sometimes I go visit a place, I need to list it. I send her all
Right.
the details, the video, the pictures, and she just does the paperwork, the back end,
Yeah.
preparing contract, preparing
Right.
Form A, Form B, Form F,
Right.
coordinating with a tenant who's coming and I'm not
Right.
available. So, she
Absolutely.
takes care of that. Renewals, that's another chapter altogether.
Do you take so assistant is something that Keller Williams used to talk about this. Like, there's only so much you can do as one person. The first person you should hire as a real estate agent when you're growing and you're growing beyond a certain point is an assistant.
100%.
So you've got an assistant. The assistant does a lot of the work for you
Back end work, emails.
in the Dubai, and you pay her salary in
Yes,
the
that's
Dubai
correct.
market. So you take care of her salary, but the company hired her for you.
Well, we have an understanding that, 50%, 50%. So, yeah.
Okay, so the company pays some, you pay some, but obviously they get more output.
That is
from you.
correct.
Mazz, last 15 years, how have you managed to keep yourself disciplined? Do you fall off sometimes and come back?
Well,
Or no?
to be honest, once you've done it for so many years,
Right,
it becomes a habit.
right, okay.
I find a lot of real estate agents saying, "Oh, you know what? I did good this month, but coming month is bad," and they start getting into this negative thinking, analysis of paralysis. They keep thinking about the
Yeah.
same thing over and over again. And one thing that really helped me, that if I go into that stage, I consciously wake myself up. Hey, Mazz, wake up.
Wake up.
Hey, and I say, look at the back 15 years. So
Yeah.
before that, I say, look at the last 1 year or 2
Yeah,
years. You did
yeah,
well.
yeah.
You found a way. Just have to be creative.
Right.
And this is how you kick yourself, pump yourself.
Is there like a really big number? Like, hey, maybe like there was a month where you did X amount of sales or X amount of rentals. Is there? Share that with us.
The numbers, you mean?
Not just like, did you do like a crazy, insane amount of rentals in a month that generally you don't do, but you were running around?
Well,
or a number of sales that you do? Because generally agents do 1, 2, 3,
Yes,
4
that is
sales
correct.
perhaps, 4
That is
rentals. The 4 is
Right.
You're maxing out.
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
have you done those numbers?
I have. And see, to be honest, one thing I do,
Yeah.
that from the day I joined the company, I have a record, like
Right.
a monthly numbers.
Right.
That if somebody wants to come and look at it, and I can tell you, I can give you that file. The file is called the score. So
Right.
you can tell you that how much I made in December 2010, January 21,
Wow.
everything till today. So
Amazing. Nice.
there's one thing that's really interesting. It was more towards the end of 2017
Yeah.
when the market was declining. There were not
Yeah.
many sales happening.
Challenging times.
January
again.
2018 as well. So it was June of 2018.
Yeah.
I crossed 100,000
Yeah.
only on rentals.
MashaAllah.
So I know it's not a big number because if you
No,
do
it's a
one
big
sale,
number
it's-
just if
yeah.
you just do rentals, man.
Yeah.
If you're doing, especially in the 2018 market. But this is the thing about experienced brokers. They'll get it done. They'll do what's needed to be done. Like I remember in 2008, one of my mentors, when the sales market was where it was, they actually started doing rentals. They started
True.
making 25,000 dirhams per month at that time, 2008, when nobody else was doing anything. Dubai Properties opened Ghurub and Shuruq.
Yes, I remember.
And you could go in there and do rentals there. It was
That's true.
available. People were looking for
100%.
housing. So rentals always going on.
You always find a way. If you are resourceful,
Yes.
you always find
Do
a
you
way.
delegate work easily now or no?
Oh, well, to be honest, now I delegate a few more than I used to do before.
Yeah.
And thanks for the assistance that I have.
Yeah.
She's been very hands-on and very, very helpful. So yes, I do delegate.
A lot
I
more.
have to. Because the number of clients that I have right now, I simply cannot manage on
Yeah.
my own. There's just too many. By God's
Let's-
grace.
Bless you. Let's talk about next 5-10 years.
Oh,
Goals, aspirations,
well, see, to be honest, I think
retirement.
as you grow older, your goal changes.
Yeah.
Right. Being in real estate, I think it was only natural that I have my investments in real estate.
Yeah.
And one thing really fascinated me, and it was a very small concept from Rich Dad Poor Dad, says that anything that puts money in your pocket
Yeah.
is an asset. Anything that takes money out of your pocket is a liability. So I've decided to increase my assets. So
Right.
my next 5 years, my intention, my plan is to double my assets
Right.
and have some rental income.
Yeah.
I'm not a greedy guy. I just want to see my family do well. So
Fly private.
I am a regular guy.
Yeah.
I love to walk, so so
Bless you. Do you take vacations?
my God, it's been a while.
So you don't take vacations, but do you do not long vacations? Do you do short vacations?
Yes,
2-3
yes,
days,
yes.
5 days. That's what agents do.
To be honest, I get the more pressure from my family during the
Right.
month of July and August when they're
Right.
free.
Right.
So what I do, I take them out on a short, 3 days in Fujairah, 2 days in Abu Dhabi,
Right.
right here internally, because once you're in staycations, once you're in real estate, and you're always thinking about, what if I get a call from my client and I'm not available?
Yeah.
That thing kills you.
I used to do that in the beginning, even during staycations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that now. Even during a staycation, you know what I would do?
Take calls.
No, I would leave during the day
Oh,
and just come back.
come to Dubai and then
No, I would do it in Dubai. Like there's resorts in Palm Jumeirah or whatever.
Right,
So you don't have to go to
right.
Fujairah.
yeah.
But obviously you can't go to Fujairah and then come back. But I would do that. But that was insane. I think that was wrong. So I just stopped doing it. But I would just go during the day. But the problem is, not the problem. The thing is, you think you're doing something good, but you're not, because you're never working and your family's there. In fact, in the beginning, when Mazz in 2013, I thought that I got to work 7 days a week.
In real estate.
Yeah. So it wasn't until when I was at Keller Williams, they said, look at your calendar, mark one day completely out as a family day.
Amazing.
So I did that. And you know what happened? Before that day, which I was with the family anyways, I don't know, I felt guilty. Why am I relaxing? But not working at all anyways. Because you've still got to do stuff that you've got to do with the weekend kids, blah, blah.
Yes.
But felt guilty. So now when I marked it as family day, that's it. If I still got to take a call, that's fine. Big deal. Taking a call is not the end of the world.
Right.
But I would mark it as a family day and just not.
I think you're putting too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah,
So it's not worth it.
yeah, it's not worth it. So
Yeah.
just mark it out and just get out of there. But how does your family take it right now? Like,
Oh my
because you
God.
work hard.
My wife is used to it right now.
She's used to it by
She's
now.
been very helpful,
Right.
very supportive. You got to know I've got like 4 kids. So
Yeah,
she's
bless
the
you.
one who's taking care
How
of
old
the
is the
kids.
youngest now?
I've got 3, 5, 7, and 11.
3, 5, 7, 11. 11
Yeah,
the
yeah.
3, 5, 7, and 11.
11 as well.
Bless
so
you.
yeah, they go to school, and
Yeah.
my wife takes a lot of pressure. teaching them, making sure they're fed and they sleep on time.
Yeah.
So yeah, so on Sunday I spend time with my family, and
Alhamdulillah.
you never know when
This
Sunday
new
goes.
weekend change, I think it's actually worked out better for us.
Do you
by
think
the way.
so?
I think so, man. I enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah.
I
You don't like
I
it?
like the old way because they used to be off on Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
So Friday was off. I used to spend time with the family, and
Yes.
Saturday like they're off, so
Yes.
I can come a little bit late and take them out. I
Right.
cannot do that anymore.
Right. Here's the thing. I'll tell you how it works out for me.
Tell me.
Even though Friday was off before, you still had to go for prayers, right? As a
Yes.
Muslim man. That's how I'm
Yes,
going
yes,
for
yes,
prayer.
yes.
Now what's happening? So anywhere you're going, you've got to figure out where you're going to pray Friday prayer.
100%.
So now if I go to a mall with them, I'm going to leave them alone. If I go to a park with them, I got to go for Friday prayer and come back. Or we're just going to go after prayers, afternoon. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Now you have more time.
Now what happens is Friday's a work day, and alhamdulillah, as an agent, you can choose to be away from the office for 3 hours if you want. So I just go for prayers, take time off.
That's
and now
good.
Saturday, we still work on Saturday, but Sunday's completely off.
That's good.
I don't know.
Do you take your switch off your phone?
So I'll share this with you. What I do is all my notifications are off.
Oh,
Every single notification. So if you need to reach me, you've got to really call me.
okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
And I know a guy like you who's on like YouTube, TikTok, and you're on Instagram, and I don't know what.
Yeah.
So you're
So
very
my
famous.
notifications are off. The primary reason, Mazz, is like from a real estate agent perspective, we can tell the audience, especially the new people, like you're gonna get maybe about 100 to 1,000 messages per day. Yes or no?
100%.
Right. So
100%.
if your phone's going ting 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 ting, you might as well be a robot, just reply. Ting,
You have.
right. So how do you get away from that? The way you get away, the way I do it,
Right.
I will choose the time when I want to go into WhatsApp and reply. Because if it's super urgent, if God forbid something is super urgent,
They
they'll
can call you.
And they call.
That is correct.
They call. But you're not off, eh? So are you selective bit? Do you
Okay.
ignore people now?
This is what I do on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like one thing I do is like I sleep well on Sunday.
Okay.
and I have purposely what I do. I only check my WhatsApp. I would say 3 times on Sunday. So let it be like, let's say between 11 and 12.
Yeah.
And the next will be between like 5 and 6. And the last will be
Right.
between 12 and 1.
How much are you sleeping during weekdays?
Fahad, I try to stretch it, but my average is about like 7 hours, 6
Oh, that's
and a half
good.
hours.
7 hours is good.
Yeah.
You can
About
get
that as well.
That's
yeah.
a lot.
It's all right. You got to
Yeah.
keep your mind fresh, right? So,
Yeah. So you're not sleeping less. Like I thought you were going to say you sleeping like 4 hours a week or something.
No.
You pursuing any other hobbies outside?
Oh, yeah.
Outside
yeah,
of work?
yeah. I do
What
quite
do
a
you do?
lot.
What? Let's talk about that.
Well, I
we
love.
have 2 minutes.
We have 2 minutes.
3 minutes.
I love playing football.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's certain things I do outside the real estate, and I love going out on hikes, going
Okay.
out in the mountains.
Okay.
And so what I do, like on Friday night, Saturday morning, I go in the mountains with a group of people.
Okay.
And I did not know that Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah, is so breathtaking.
Really?
Actually, I'm gonna take you on my next hike, which I'm planning to.
Sure.
It soothes you down, it relaxes you.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
How long do you have to walk?
Well, see, the thing is, you have a beginner's level 4 to 5 hours, and you have intermediate where you walk for like 8 hours, and you have,
Right.
But there's a lot of
What
things.
level are you now?
I'm intermediary.
So you can do 8 hours.
Oh, I can do more than that.
Right. Okay.
I can do a lot more than that. But
Okay.
it's not about
That's
the
pretty good.
walking.
Pretty
It's
good.
about navigating the wadi,
Okay.
navigating the scenic view of the water or the sea somewhere
man.
and there's so many. And reason I love being there because you're out and about.
Right.
Your phone is not ringing.
Right.
You're getting in touch with the
Do
nature.
you do it during the summer as well?
I love summers.
Yeah, I don't
love
mind
the
summers.
heat.
I don't care. Actually, the thing is, it's not about, it is hot. It is humid. You do get sweaty, but who cares?
Who cares? You
Who
gotta do what you
cares?
gotta do, right?
No, but the thing is, when I was, I think, I still remember one of my cousins back in, I think he was 39 and I was 16. And I was stepping out of the elevator. I was like, it's so hot. I think it was June, August. He said, you know what? It's not hot if you don't think about it.
100%.
So if you don't think about it, who cares? Like, okay, like it's hot, big deal.
Definitely.
I don't know. Is it just me who's thinking like this, or it's
No,
the
I
fact?
agree with
like,
you. I agree with you. I mean, there's nothing much you can
So
do
yeah,
about that.
we're on. I'd love to go.
Yeah.
I like hiking.
Oh, it's amazing.
God send you.
It's
Allah send you to
amazing.
me
You get
so that
to-
we can actually go.
yeah.
But do you do that like regular Sundays? Do you take the family, the kids, or just
Well,
you?
I take my son.
Okay, the
He's
one who's
been with
old
me
enough to be with you to
100%.
walk around.
Yes.
Right.
And we do it every Friday night, Saturday morning. Every week there's a different location.
Okay, but do you go there to camp the previous night?
No.
and then-
So basically, I wake up at 3 in the morning.
Right,
3:30, I'm in the car. We reach there at 4:30. We
Right.
start the hike.
right.
We do it till about like 10, 11, and then we come back.
Oh, that's good, man.
That's it. That's
I'd
it.
love to
yeah.
do that. Do you
Yeah,
carry
yeah.
knives and stuff like that?
No, it's not that dangerous, Fahd.
I'm just saying, like, because I've got some knives that I'd like to carry. Yeah, I like knives. I like knives.
Very adventurous.
Yeah.
Very scenic.
Yeah.
And the best part, your body get exercised.
Right.
It's a natural thing. Yeah.
All right, so you've met Mazz today. Mazz from JVT. If you've got any requirements, actually, before we go,
Yes.
Mazz, with your 15 years of experience, give us one tip. One tip for the investors who are looking out there, thinking, okay, is there a good place I can identify and invest it? Give it out. Give it for free.
Definitely. See, I'm born and brought up here. You're
Yeah.
born and brought up here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you remember, Dubai does everything. Like anytime there's a dip, there's a rise as well.
Right, yeah.
So Dubai does anything that something happens that Dubai market is back in the market. So I think there's no second thoughts about investing in Dubai.
Right.
But only thing invest on something which is proven,
Mm-hmm.
which is the ready, which gives you rental yield, as close to Sheikh Zayed Road.
Right, okay.
You cannot go wrong.
There
you
you
simply
go.
cannot go wrong.
JVT.
Yeah. JVT. There
All
you
right,
go.
guys. Thank you so much, Mazz. We're going to put his number, especially if you want JVC,
yes,
JVT, you can
100%,
reach out
yeah,
to him.
sure.
And then if you want to talk to him, you know that he doesn't answer his phones on Sundays. All right. We want to thank him for being here. We've got a little gift for you.
Oh, you don't have to, Fahd. You don't have to.
We
Is this
still want to.
sponsored by Debenhams?
No, I think we shopped at Debenhams.
Okay.
We take it out.
There you go.
There we go.
I hope they're chocolates because I love chocolates.
No, we did away with chocolates because people are on a health page. So we said, don't do chocolates. You can open it up. Here you go. Let's
Oh,
open
there
it
you
up
go.
online while you're.
But thank you so much, Fahd.
You're
Thank
welcome,
You so much.
you're
Oh,
welcome.
I need a card as well.
God.
Sweet. Oh, thank you, FD. Oh my God. May you be blessed with health, wealth, and family. Thank you sincerely for sharing your valuable insights and experience. I'm humbled and grateful for the time you gave and the trust. Oh, Fahd, you're an amazing brother. You're
Thank
amazing.
you. You're welcome.
Should I open it right now or you're out of
Sure,
time?
go for it. I want to see what's in it as well because the team got it together. I wanna
Really?
see. I know that I told them don't get
Wow.
chocolates.
It's a Mont Blanc
Oh, nice.
and it's a perfume.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's got perfume. Mazz can smell amazing like he always does for his
Okay.
clients. Out there in the wadi, attracting the bears. Are there bears in the wadi?
No,
bears.
I've seen a lot of snakes though.
Snakes, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Genuine bhi honge na?
Genuine?
Gin.
Oh yeah, that's
Normal stuff, yeah.
yeah.
All right, bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Oh my
you, sir.
God, lovely so much. Awesome.
Bright red.
Nice.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you very
Jazakallah khair
much
as well.
for being on the podcast with us. man.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you
We're
so
going to
much.
meet properly. inshallah.
Done.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Bye for now. Bye from us.